Good morning, YouTube. This is Lori Girl 2, and I just want to take you for a quick tour around the garden. We're nowhere near finished, but we've done some major work, and I just wanted you to see it. First of all is the new fence enclosure. We took down the old fence, and it was just a mesh deer netting, and we went ahead and invested in the metal fencing, and we bought some more T-posts, and we have completely enclosed the garden. So it is 40 by 45, and so it's a nice little space. And let me just walk in. This is the front door here, or the only door, and show you what we've done. Now, I don't know if you've seen any of my videos in the past, but we had four 4-foot square foot gardens here, and we had 4 rows. So what we did was we joined them together and increased our space of our garden probably by about another, well, let's see, that's 12 by 4, probably by another 45 or 50 feet a square foot per row. And we added an extra row. So now we have 5 rows of these garden beds. Okay? So that gives us a nice little space to grow our stuff. Let me first start with my tomatoes. I'm doing my tomatoes again. Most of them, as you'll see as we go along, are buried in the ground. But I ran out of pots. So I'm putting some of them above ground, and about every 3 feet I have a tomato. There's a potato bag with some potatoes coming up, and I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 above ground pots, but the rest of them are like this, which are, we dug a 3-foot hole, and we cut the bottom out of one of these nursery pots and then sunk it down into the ground and filled it with compost. And so this is how most of our tomatoes look. And then I have grow bags, you know, with potatoes here all along the way. My tomatoes have really taken a huge, several huge insults this year so far. They've been afflicted by frost twice. There in the greenhouse when it wasn't heated and the temperatures got down to like 20 degrees, and frost bit a lot of my tomatoes. And also, I don't know, they've just really been stressed. So the past 2 days it has been pouring like, you know, Noah's Ark type pouring. We've probably had 3 or 4 inches of rain the past two days, and the temperatures went down to 36 degrees. So what I did, my husband and I came out, and we got the plastic storage bags. We opened them up and put them down over top of the tomatoes, and just prayed that they would make it through and that it wouldn't frost. Well, they survived 2 days in the pouring rain. Just uncovered them a few minutes ago, and they're looking pretty good. So they go all the way around the garden, and we have 48 tomatoes, which to me is not enough, but to my husband, he's like, 48 tomatoes? What are you going to do with 48 tomatoes? But anyhow, we've got 48 tomatoes, and they go all the way around. This is my strawberries. I ordered these from Norse Farms. I believe it was I'm Still Working who purchased her strawberries from there. And I ordered a bundle of strawberries, which is 25 plants. So I have 5 buckets, and I have 5 strawberries in each bucket. And they're out here, really liking their new environment. So that's good. I also ordered blackberries, raspberries, asparagus, and blueberries from Norse Farms, all of which have been planted, so thank goodness for that. Okay, so I have to make several more tomato cages, probably about 8 more tomato cages, and then we'll be good to go for the tomatoes. This is my garlic, which I planted in the fall. Probably I planted this September. This is elephant garlic, and it is beautiful. So I stick my finger down in there every once in a while to see, you know, how the bulbs are coming along, and they're coming right along, so I'm very happy with that. I have a few spring onions mixed in here because I ran out of space for my onion sets, so occasionally there is a little onion here and there. So this is the elephant garlic. I have a little bit more elephant garlic here, and then I have regular garlic. I purchased one of those garlic bundles from Costco, and it was organic, so I knew it would sprout, and that's what I planted this last fall. Okay, now there's a wayward onion, by the way. I don't know how he got in there, but there he is. My peppers have also taken a huge hit with the frost. Some of these may not make it, and but I'm hoping and praying that some of them will come back. The tops got frostbitten, so what I did was I pinched them, and they're starting with new growth. So I'm very happy about that, and several of them look really I don't know, kind of funky. These are ones that I grew from seed. They're heirloom serranos, jalapenos, I think California Wonders, and a gypsy pepper, which is a hybrid. I'm not sure what I'm going to get when that grows up, but anyhow. Here's my onion sets, and they're coming right along. And here's my lettuce. This first row here is Butter Crunch, and then the subsequent rows back there are all romaine. They're doing well. The white powder you see on there is diatomaceous earth, which I sprinkled liberally because I had some insects thinking they could eat my lettuce. So this is my celery. I have 12 celery plants, and I bought this from a nursery, and they're doing really well. This celery plant right here is just doubled in height, so I'm really encouraged by that. So anyhow, this bed is empty. This one has a volunteer potato plant that came up on its own. I have no idea what kind of potato it is. Obviously, we left a potato in the bed, and so we'll just let it go and see what we get. This is broccoli. I have like 20 broccoli plants, and so they have also been, a lot of the initial leaves have been eaten by insects, so I need to sprinkle a little bit more diatomaceous earth now that it's rained for 2 days. Like this little plant right here. I mean, this little thing is hardly anything left to it. But anyhow, I'm going to leave it and see if it continues to grow. This is cabbage, so it's working. This is red Russian kale, and then some regular dwarf kale there. This is, I believe, collard greens, if I'm not mistaken. I think this is collard greens. And this is collard greens. Here, they're looking pretty good. Growing up nice. And then this is red cabbage. So I have more potato bags, more potatoes. This is yarrow, which I had in one of my beds last year, and another YouTube user suggested that I get it out of there because it's very invasive. And I just dumped it in this pot. I just picked up the clump and dumped it in there, and it's doing really well. So I would like to have the yarrow for medicinal purposes, so that's why we're keeping it. And this is another bed full of peppers that have been frostbitten, but yet they're struggling to come back. And I'm just really pleased because they're coming right along, and I'm just very happy with that. So this bed right here, I planted some green beans, and they haven't emerged yet. This bed here is also green beans. It's burgundy green bean and dragon tongue green bean, which is purple and yellow, the most gorgeous color beans. This here is Brussels sprouts, which is what's left over from the first frost. I had this whole garden planted, and all my cold crops, and it went down to 20 degrees, and I lost almost every single thing, with the exception of these few Brussels sprouts, which I thought were dead. And then when I went to pull it out of the ground, I noticed they just had just a little teeny bit of leaves on there. So I said, okay, I'll let you go and see what happens, and they're starting to come back. So very happy about that. And this is a whole nother box full of peppers as well. Some of them are new, I just bought, and some of them are the frostbitten babies. This is 2 boxes of potatoes, as well as my potatoes that I have in the bags. I have a whole 2 boxes of potatoes here, so hopefully I will have a nice little potato harvest, I hope. So this bed right here is planted with turnip, and so we'll see how that goes. These are the heirloom White Lady turnips, and I loved them. I did them last year, and they were great, so I decided to plant a whole bed in turnips this year. And since the seeds are so small, what I did was I just broadcast them over the soil, and then lightly sprinkled some compost over it, and then mulched it with pine needle and leaves, and so to keep the moisture in. I don't have to water every single 5 minutes, and we'll see how it goes. This is empty and empty, and this is melon. I have 5 melon plants, and it's the variety Ambrosia, which is a cantaloupe. So I have these trellises here, which my husband made for me last year, which I'm going to get a smaller version of that and put it here over this bed for these melons to go up each side, and they can go up one side and down the other, and that's a good way to try and contain your square foot garden, is these type of trellis things. I like to grow my cucumbers, my melons, and my squash on these, the vining squash. So so I have 3 on this side and 2 on the other side. So I still have a lot of weeds and stuff that I'm working on getting out of here, and it's just a lot of work, and I have a tendonitis in my elbow, so I'm having to take it a little bit at a time because it's killing me. So a little bit at a time, inch by inch. We're just continuing to work on it. This bed right here I planted with beets. Okay, so 3/4 of this bed is Chioggia beets, which is an heirloom beet. And the first 18 inches or so of this, all along this trellis here, is sugar snap peas. So I have this wire, and I have it in place with a couple of 1 T-post and a couple of big plastic hooks. I used this last year for the sugar snap peas, and it worked well, so I'm going to do that again this year. So I have 1 bed with sugar snap peas and beets, and then this is eggplant. I have 4 eggplant plants that I purchased at a nursery, because my eggplant died when the frost hit it, and then I've planted seeds in that section right there. I also have sugar snap peas here, the first 18 inches of this bed, and then this section here is open. And that whole bed right there is all new. That's a new bed we built last year, and we didn't put much soil in there. All we did was dump a whole bunch of wood chips in. This is the wood chips that we chipped that big wood pile down there. I think you can see it. And we took the wood chips from there and we threw them in here. Although we didn't get much snow, normally if we'd have had a good snow, they'd have sat underneath that snow for a good little while and they would have mulched nicely. But I don't know if you can see this or not, but it's breaking down. But there's not much soil under there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this out, pull the mulch out, and I'm going to add 5 bags of leaf grow, which is the leaf compost, and then plant my bed, and then I'm going to add the wood chips back. The extra wood chips I'm using, you know, not this row because this is still needs to be weeded yet, but I'm using it in between the rows to keep the weeds down. That's working nicely. So this bed here, plus the ones that are empty here, I'm going to be planting cucumbers, zucchini, yellow squash, butternut squash. What else am I going to be doing? I can't remember. Anyhow, maybe another bed of green beans. I really love green beans, and what I thought I would do is do the successive planting. So every 3 weeks, you know, plant green beans, and then rotate them through. As soon as I get this garlic out of here, I can plant green beans in there, and so I've got plans. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do yet, but I'm working on it. And now I have a nice walkway in between my beds and my tomatoes. Last year I only had 3 feet from the end of the bed to the tomato plant, and when those tomato plants grew in, some of them were 6 and 7 and 8 feet tall, and you couldn't even get in between them. It was ridiculous. I had a real hard time trying to harvest my tomatoes. So I decided to move everything out and give ourselves a lot of room and see how it goes. Now this is, my husband planted the asparagus. So this is in furrows. This is 25 asparagus plants in here. It's a 5 foot by 5 foot bed. Of course we had to put the little fence up because the cats like to use that as a litter box. So I'm gonna close this down now and get busy. I've got a lot of work to do. I'll keep you updated as I go along. Oh, this potato bed here, I used my hoop house to set on top, so that when I hill these potatoes, which is probably going to be in a couple of days by the looks of it, I will have, you know, the extra border on the outside to contain the soil. So, but with the grow bags, all I'll do is pull the bag up as I add soil. So, and I wanted to show you the types of tomatoes I'm growing. Let's see if I can get this behind me. Okay, I have 7 Marglobe, 7 Mortgage Lifters, 13 Rutgers, 6 green zebras, which I grew last year and I was very happy with, 4 yellow pears, 5 sweet 100s, 1 hybrid early girl, 1 celebrity, which I thought I'd try this year, and 4 Romas. So altogether that makes 48 tomato plants. So we shall see how it goes, and I'll keep you posted. Okay, thanks YouTube. Have a great day.